Jimmy Acosta, who's still podcasting from Mommy's Basement, thinks that Donald Trump is going to arrest Jasmine Crockett and told her that. Listen to how Jasmine Crockett responded.
Okay, what's going on here? We're members of Congress. We represent the people. We want to know what's going on here. And then there's this scuffle where they're giving these members of Congress a hard time. And I'm worried about folks like yourself, Congresswoman, because I have to assume that, you know, of course they would like to arrest you and some of the others who are more outspoken in the House.
Having to go to El Paso, after I got done in D.C., I had to go to El Paso to testify in federal court as relates to the redistricting that was done in 2020 in the state of Texas. Yeah. And his grandmother did not know why we were going to El Paso, but she thought we were going to a detention facility. That I don't know about Jasmine going, because you know they want to lock her up and they probably going to grab her and throw her in too.
That's their great hope. And on the Democrat side, good luck with that. David Hogg wants you to think that he gives two shits about Nancy Pelosi's decades of insider trading, which is BS, by the way. You're going to watch this and notice how transparent this little annoying little guy is.
I would say Pelosi's actually very good at her job. I don't agree with the stock trading stuff. I mean, she gets better returns than almost every hedge fund in this city every year. Some of these members of Congress make trades that are like way too well timed to not have like insider knowledge. They happen to be some of the best financial analysts in human history.
Have you spoken against that?
I've talked to them, but it's also like, I know that if I pick that fight, it's going to be harder for us to get gun control passed. So
he got punked by Veritas, Project Veritas. Good luck with your political career, Davey. Democrat activist Olivia Giuliana has some not so nice things to say about Republicans. Am I surprised? Not at all. Of course not. She is a Democrat. Remember, folks, they can do and say whatever they want at any time on the left, but here she is complaining about her party's ongoing issues with male voters. She thinks that name calling is going to win U.S. men back to the voting booth.
I'm the person that's in charge of bringing young men back to the Democratic Party. According to Donald Trump Jr., Trump War Room, Libs of TikTok. And while none of that's actually true, every single time I saw one of y'all posting about me, I had one main thought at the top of my head. Y'all are a bunch of y'all are the ones that made it about a woman and her identity and the way that she looks. Something that y'all consistently claim the Democrats do. You don't actually give a fuck about young men. Instead, a lot of you want to talk about my weight. You're using pictures of me from about 65 pounds ago. So let me ask you this. If I lose another 65 pounds, will y'all actually raise young men's wages? Will you actually increase funding to mental health services? Or are you just going to find another way to deflect from the fact that y'all don't actually have any policy plan to help?
Hey, Giuliana, besides being a dumbass, did you realize U.S. wages are up the highest they've been in a decade? Do you also realize inflation is down, the lowest it's been since before Joe Biden came into office? You dumbass. It has nothing to do with that. It's all about Republican policies. And by the way, Democrats, you want to attract young men back? I'm not thinking Giuliana is the one you want to use to do that. The Democrats are apparently planning to go after now Elon Musk eventually. Of course, this would require the Democrats to retake control of the House, which is far from a lock. All the Dems claim he broke the law. But listen to MSNBC Roundtable. Listen to them whine more about Elon Musk.
Was in there.
And he didn't take those servers with him.
The servers, I don't think, have left the White House. And so what are Democrats going to do about the data? Are you all going to follow up on this? What's your take on Elon Musk being done? Because I just think he's finished. He's just finished what he was doing. Actually, he's finished. He's not done because they've still got the data.
Yeah, I heard he's on some image repair tour. I think the best way for him to repair his image is to reverse all the damage he did to our government, to the American people. And yeah, those servers are a big issue. We want to continue to investigate that. And certainly, I think some crimes may have been committed over the past 3 or 4 months, and they are going to come to light one way or another. We're going to come to light, even if it takes us getting into power again. But we will subpoena people.
Are there any normal people on MSNBC at all? Speaking of normal people, Chris Cuomo thinks that the illegal migrant violence in this country is being blown out of proportion. In fact, Cuomo seems to think that all of the rage about this crucial topic stems from one single isolated issue, the murder of Laken Riley. Listen to this.
Change how I feel about the parties. They are the problem. They are the root of this binary battle to the bottom. The division is almost exclusively manufactured. We are fighting over culture issues and controversies that are completely made up. We divide this country over a single homicide of somebody, and it's absolutely wrong. What happened to Laken Riley is horrible. It's one too many, any way you want to look at it. But it is also an artificial issue.
Dude, it's not one murder. It's dozens of murders. It's weekly. There's an American citizen, a young girl being raped or killed by an illegal or more. It just goes on and on. Laken Riley happens to be one of the most well-known examples. A young girl, a nursing student in Georgia getting raped and murdered by an illegal who's been deported 12 times. Yeah, it's one example, maybe the most egregious example. We got hundreds, Chris. We don't have time. And by the way, lay off the juice, bro. Joy Reid is rejoining the world, but only to run her mouth about South African farmers. Listen to the racist Joyless Joy, who hasn't changed a bit since her ousting from cable.
I have a question. If these 59 Afrikaners came to the U.S. for refuge because they were having their farms taken away, why'd they leave their farms to come move to America? Doesn't that mean their farms are now available to be redistributed to black people? If they're in fact farmers. Are they really farmers? Do you really believe it? I don't. Just saying.
Was she going to the bathroom while she was taping that video? And by the way, what's with that hair?